Welcome to Alan's Trains at Stockton Station. This is the first of a short series of videos of scratch building using a cutting machine rather than using cutting knives and by hand. I hope they are helpful. After moving to a cutting machine instead of making scratch built models by hand, I'd been asked what I think of using the cutting machine and is it worth the time and effort. Before covering my findings, I'd say that if you're a scratch builder, then a cutting machine is a valuable piece of equipment, but it is simply another tool in your toolbox. First, I would say a definite yes to the change from cutting by hand, especially for the smaller, finer details such as window frames, which was one of the main drivers for me. Prior to jumping into a cutting machine purchase, I recommend doing some research, as there are a number that you can choose from. Also, whether to go for a simple cutting machine or move on to a laser cutter. Again, this depends on what you're going to model in and what material you're going to use and how much money you wish to spend. It does come with a cost in time, and learning any new skill takes time and patience and can initially slow you down. However, in the long term, it becomes a time saver and less strain on your hands and eyes. And as you get older, that's one of the major problems of modelling in 00 scale or N scale or any scale in fact, but especially in the smaller scales. It also comes down to a monetary cost, and this means careful consideration must be given to how much you'll use the machine. In the long term, it does become a time saver, as we said, and I will discuss costs and equipment in a separate section. There is also, you need the ability to use a computer, which may be second nature to some people but a struggle to others. If you're starting from scratch with a computer, then that must be included in the outlay, and I'll detail my setup in a later edition. I found that given the specialised nature of the modelling, especially when based on actual buildings rather than imaginary, I learned to use a software package to generate drawings, which are .svg files, and I built a library of files that I can utilise for various models, whether they be houses or pubs or hotels, station buildings or whatever. There's a very good site on YouTube, which I'll refer to in a later section, which describes how to use in particular Inkscape drawing package. Now that drawing package is free on the internet. I found that fairly easy to use with the aid of the YouTube videos. You must prepare for failures as you learn the new skills, and be prepared to waste material, as that can occur as well. You also need to consider that you're going to use multiple thicknesses of card, glazing, wood, etc. that must be matched to the settings on the cutting machine. This can lead to trial and error and frustration. I now have a spreadsheet of materials, including matching the machine settings to which blades, which cutting mats to use, etc. The drawings you will generate outside of the software that come with the machine sometimes need to be adjusted, as they don't often talk to each other. I personally found the software with the cutting machine adequate to get started, but soon needed to move to specialised software. The machine software is ideal for crafting or making things from pre-designed drawings that you can access through the manufacturers, and again you have to pay for most of those. Overall, it's been a good move for me, and I hope the advice that I'm going to provide or have provided will help you make a decision on whether you want to use a cutting machine. Thank you.